All right, so in this video I have a pair of sneakers in this box. This came from overseas and it was very risky for me to be able to buy. And I wanted to show you guys a replica pair. This is supposed to be a one-to-one of this shoe right here, the Shattered Backboard Air Jordan 1. Why am I doing this video so late? Because they offer this shoe as a new shoe that you can actually purchase, which means they actually kept on perfecting the shoe over and over and over again until they had this supposedly perfect version of the real thing, and I wanted to give you guys a comparison next to the real thing. So let's go ahead and get in the video. What's going on, guys? Hess here, CollectiveKicks.com. If you guys want to shop this week's top sneaker deals of authentic products, check the link in the description. There will be no link, big huge warning, there's not going to be a link to buy the replica pair. I do not support replicas like that. A lot of people will leave comments every single video, but Hess, you don't support replicas, yet you're buying the replica shoes. Please note that it's obviously for entertainment purposes and more for education purposes for those people not realizing that they have replica pairs as good as this, potentially, as the real thing, and reasons why you should stay away from it. And really, if you guys have seen some of my other videos, I recommend the Travis Scott video that I did of the Air Jordan 1. You will see that I ran into a lot of doozies. It was really, really risky to buy these. They wanted me to do Western Union only after I ordered the shoe, which basically means I send somebody money overseas. If they choose to not fulfill their end of the deal and send the product, they can definitely do so. If the website gets shut down and they have this open order that I've already paid for, I can lose my order. Those type of things happen all the time, but most importantly, the biggest risk of all is the fact that I had my credit card exposed, and actually I ordered something off of a Chinese site, not for these ones, but for something else. And as soon as I did so, I started to get spam purchases on my credit card from this unauthorized site in China, and they started just buying random crap on my card. So it definitely happens. I had to have that one shut down immediately, and then I had to, it's such a pain losing your card. But anyway, just buyer beware. It's not easy to get fake shoes out there, for one, but for two, you probably shouldn't be trying to get these to replace the real thing in the first place. My recommendation is just getting something more obtainable, something on sale. But the other part of the reason why I do this video is if you're trying to buy a real pair of sneakers from places like StockX, in consignment shops, and sneaker cons, and there's a lot of times there's a possibility that you could be getting scammed from these local Facebook meetups and off of eBay and stuff. And a lot of people may not know any better to even question the fact if the shoe is authentic or not. So because of that, videos like this, I feel like are educational for you guys out there, just to give you buyer beware knowledge. If you buy a hyped up shoe that is in limited run and there's replicas made of that shoe, be careful, because you could get one of those shoes. So this isn't an end-all be-all comparison between the real and the fake, and calling out the stitching on this one and not the stitching on the other one, and if it's exactly the way this one is, then it's real, and if it's exactly the way the other one, then it's fake. There's lots of variants and variations of replica shoes, so please know that all this stuff going into it. I have to sort of do these disclaimers at the beginning of the video, even though the people that really leave the hate comments never even listen to this part of it. They just want to see the shoes and compare them. But it's always important for those people that actually do listen to realize what is out there and why I'm doing this. So now that I've given you guys that, let's go ahead and show you guys the shoes. All right, so I got my knife. I'm going to go ahead and open these up. Again, I have no idea what to expect other than they're supposed to be really good quality. For those wondering about price, I think they were $170 or so, which is pretty much what US retail was. I think they were $160 when they dropped. So this is something, obviously, the Japanese sites usually do this bubble wrap. We don't get this in America from any retailers. Super taped on, super inconvenient, but there you go. Here's a box, Nike box, as you can see. And I love how they do this. So here is the tag for those wondering. It is the Air Jordan 1 Retro High. Black Starfish and Sail, $160. Inside the box. This is weird. I don't remember any of this, if they had swoosh in the thing there. I have my box, but it's in my storage, so I'm not going to pull it out right now. But I love the fact that they do this and actually give a StockX like stock card for all this stuff. And then a StockX sticker as well, which is super cheap. And then I don't know what this is. Some some pairs maybe come with this, not the pairs in the US. Mine didn't come with that. But the moment I've been waiting for, and you guys probably as well. And it comes with a StockX tag for those wondering also. All right, so here we have it. This is supposed to be the one-to-one replica of the Shattered Backboard. And at first glance, even if I didn't have my real pair, just looking this over, for sure you could tell that these are fake. Number one sign for any sneaker connoisseurs out there, I call it sneaker connoisseurs. It makes us feel kind of like high-end. But yeah. But anyway, for those sneaker connoisseurs out there like us, you would know strictly from the smell of the shoe. It's super fake. It doesn't smell like anything that you would get from Jordan Brand. And if you know, and I'm not saying that that's a quality thing, that Jordan Brand only provides super quality stuff. It's just whatever type of leather and materials that they use in leathers and glues, they use it on all of the Air Jordan 1s pretty much. This doesn't have that same fragrance from the shoe. The other thing is, obviously, from the very get-go, the coloring is off. I mean, this is a super dark burnt orange. Maybe my pair is faded over time, as you'll see in just a second, but that's the other giveaway. This leather material around right here, the sail color, it feels kind of cheaper than the authentic pairs, but really it looks like it's more like the cut or whatever they used here is just different than the other material on the real pair. It's like the marbling or whatever you call this in the middle is a lot bigger on the real pair. This is like really fine marbling, if that's what you're going to call it. I have no idea what to call it. And then the black leather is the meh leather on the shoe anyway. This is just okay leather here, and it's just okay leather on the real thing. But this leather feels actually pretty good. The orange leather, it just looks, I mean, even in the toe box, it feels good, but it just looks off. It just looks too dark. So that was my giveaway of the shoe, just right out of the box. Not looking at stitching, not looking at anything else that could potentially be off, but that is what catches my eye. This is my real pair, and it definitely feels different here. Definitely feels different here, like super buttery here. Black leather, again, just meh. I actually put on black leather laces on my pair for fun, and I have these special inserts that I think Tina made me, a friend from way back in the day. Like one of my Collective Kicks riders, I think Tina has sent me those, but there's some custom inserts that I have in the bottom of mine. But yeah, so this is definitely like higher quality. It just feels better. And overall, this is what I expect when I see Shattered Backboard. And I've worn these ones a lot. Just looking at the bottoms of the shoes, I mean, this is kind of hard to tell because this is a brand new pair out of the box. This is an old pair worn. But this looks brighter on the bottom here than here, obviously, because this is dingy and dirtier. But this looks like a brighter orange anyway. The midsole looks pretty similar, but you could see the coloring. Obviously, the coloring is super off. And again, I don't know if it's because my pair has been out and oxidized or what, but the coloring is terrible on this one. Like, it's super, super orange. It does not look like Shattered Backboard at all, in my opinion. If you guys have a pair and your pair doesn't look this light, then let me know. Because my pair hasn't gone back in the box. It's just been out on display since I got them. So maybe that's a contributor. I don't remember. But that's definitely a dead giveaway. The other thing is the raw edge nature of the shoe. You can see the raw edge right here. The raw edge on this one is not very good. So this isn't really a very good replica considering how much I paid for these. They're definitely super, super noticeable. And to compare the toe boxes and stuff again, it looks like decent quality leather, but just a different color than the other one. The perforation looks a little bit different too, but all in all though, it's about the color to me. Obviously that's super off. There's a tongue logo right there, the Nike Air. It looks fairly similar. A lot of people that compare some of this stuff and it's like the end all be all. Like, well, if your stitching is one tick higher than here, then you have a fake pair. Like, I'm not that dude. Because we already know that the real pair is vary from real pair to real pair. They're handmade, so they're not gonna have the exact same stitching on each of the shoes regardless. Sometimes they're just gonna be off, which is the way it goes. So, but that being said, looking at the sail color here, it actually looks like more like a cream color. The sail color on this one looks actually darker than this one. This one looks white. This one looks like a darker cream. The color of the stitching is darker on this one. The stitching on my pair is lighter, just like the entire upper. All in all, if you went to a sneaker event or like a sneaker shop or just saw somebody walking by with a pair of these on, you'd probably think that they're real. They look that good. The coloring is just off and there's some minor differences here and there. So just heads up on that. But unfortunately, these companies can continue to perfect and perfect and perfect the products until they have like the super perfect version of that shoe. And like this may be like the B version and they're gonna have an A version next month. You just never know. All I can say from these videos is just buyer beware. Please buy from trusted places. If you care about the authenticity of your shoes, if you're trying to buy a pair of shoes on the open market, just make sure that the person has good feedback or is a trusted seller, and try to do as much research as you can, because you could be expecting a pair of shoes like this that you just paid for that's close to $1,000, and then all of a sudden you get this when they show up and you're like, that's not what I ordered, that I totally got robbed. It's just crazy how that type of stuff happens all the time. So all I can say is just be careful out there on the open market. That's part of the reason why I only buy the shoes usually at retail. If I don't get them at retail, I don't usually pay resale market on them unless it's something that I absolutely need, which most super hyped up stuff is just not of interest to me. Like, I'd rather spend my money on comfortable shoes like the Pegasus Turbos, 1 or 2s, or whatever else it might be, Ultra Boost or whatever. I'd rather have a comfortable shoe that I like than an overly hyped up shoe that could be potentially fake. But that's the video. It's kind of a crazy comparison because they look really nothing alike. I mean, hopefully you guys can see the difference. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this cost me a lot of money, and this shoe is definitely going to get cut in half. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Much appreciated. Have a great rest of the day, and more sneaker videos very soon. Peace, guys.